Okay, it says it's recording. Hello, everyone. This is my first video. We're going to see how this goes. I've struggled today to try to get it out here with the lighting, construction noise, and everything else. So, welcome. And, some crazy times we have going on. We're going to try something different at the Autism Society. And, we're hoping, or at least our hope is that we can get through this together. And it's just our way of sharing maybe some skills and some things that we have that are not necessarily work skills, or just to show how diverse our community is. Again, this is our first video, so it's going to be a mixed bag. You can hear the traffic probably, and it's been very unsuccessful taping. So we're going to switch off and go inside, and I'm going to voice over some of the bird songs, because what we're going to talk about today is how it's wonderful to see all these birds in your backyard, but as you can probably hear, it's a lot easier to hear them a lot of the times, and that's our friend the Carolina wren. So if you think of birds and their songs as voices, and you think about your favorite singer, well, you're naturally going to be able to tell your favorite singers apart, and you can do the same thing with birds. It's a lot easier to think of their voices as individuals. And so what we're going to try to do is go over a group of the 5 really most common. In fact, we'll start off with Carolina wren, and just talk about who and what they are, and listen to some of their songs, and see if that works for everyone. This will be the first, I think, of this, and if it doesn't work, well, we'll do something else, or maybe something inside instead of trying to get it outside. It's just so difficult out here. Thank you so much.
And that's the song of the Carolina wren who's been bugging us out here. Pretty little brown bird, really active in the yard. Typically paired up through the season, but they'll nest an awful lot throughout the season. It's about anything, a shoe, a bucket. There's not much they won't do. They're pretty aggressive, as you've seen, to other birds, but really a nice yard to have. And next up is the northern mockingbird, state bird of Texas. Everybody should be pretty comfortable with this bird here in Texas. It's usually the songs are in triplicates. They're not always mocks or songs of other birds. Sometimes they're just noises, and they'll always come in threes. A gray butterfly, and then those white wings are, of course, a warning to other birds. Most people have these in yard. And this is the Carolina, not to be confused. The black songs are different, and they look a little bit different, but they're about the same small, usually in flocks, as many as 6 birds during the summer and the winter. They are frequent bird feeder birds and will eat a lot of millet. It's nice to have them around. Common bird in most people's backyards. And this is a white-winged dove, ubiquitous sound heard all over central Texas in the spring. A bird that is, and however, it's native of areas further south in South Texas. These birds did not inhabit this area at all until fairly recently. Again, an aggressive birder at your bird. And in contrast, here's the Central Texas dove that inhabited most of the area, the mourning dove, the sad song of the mourning dove. And you can find these at the feeders. And what list backyard birds, or most common backyard birds, would be complete without the northern call. This is a picture here is a male and a female. Very distinctive, long, very red bird, quite large, larger than most of these. They're about the same size, but they are certainly a bird that we're all familiar with. And while there's other birds to mention, I don't think the bird or the cardinal.
All right, well, I hope you enjoyed some of those songs. They're interesting voices, and it's birds you should see in your backyard. That's just a handful. And as you can hear, Mr. Wren is still back behind us. As we talked about, most of the times it's boys. I've got a recording here that seems to get him pretty agitated. Hopefully he won't dive bomb me again. And if you enjoyed that kind of thing, I'm going to try to do a couple of other videos. One on binoculars, the different types, and what you should look for in a binoculars, a set of pair of binoculars that you want for yourself. And we also thought we might do a short video on the difference between songs and calls, because birds have calls as well as songs. And we'll see how that goes. Maybe just do all that inside. One other thing, this is all in support of the Autism Society of Texas. So if you can, please give us a thoughtful, if you have the kind of wherewithal to give us some of your thoughts and feedback. And we'd love to hear from you on diversity and inclusion for this month. And it's also really helpful if you can support the organization. Our events and other things have been shut down, and we're trying to do virtual work, but we do need your support. I see a wren right behind me. Can you see him? I hope you can see him up there. I'll see if I can get him. You see him right there? Oh boy, he's coming in. Oh no, here he comes. I better turn that off before he gets me again. I should not use those bird songs out here. Thank you so much, and we appreciate your support.